Hello, I just want to do a quick video about the way the modern world is putting all of us into like a fight, flight and survival state, because I was just realising that if we were living a true life, like which we have done for so many years before all of this stuff came in, things were physical and practical. Like a problem came along and we physically sorted it out. There was something we could do about it in that moment, and that goes right back through our evolutionary process. As an animal, our energy is consolidated. If we're hungry, we hunt, we kill, we get what we need. If we want to procreate, we go out, we have sex, we have children. It's like our drives are very simple, pure, clear, and all our energy is strong in that drive. If I'm a bear and another bear comes into my territory, I'll threaten it and I'll fight if I've got to, and that's all I'm thinking about. Whereas in our modern world, the way things are, our energy is completely dissipated. People are thinking about what they've got to do for their families, they're thinking about their parents, they're thinking about what they've got to do for their job, they're thinking about their friends, they're thinking about all these different things. And on top of that, they're thinking about their post on Facebook, they're thinking about the responses they've got, they're thinking about the other things they've seen on Facebook. It's like we are getting so spread out and dissipated. And a lot of that is triggering real difficulties for our animal aspects and for our bodies, because, like a lot of our animal basic drive feelings are held within like the pelvis area. It's like the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and like our power center at the solar plexus. And the world that we're living in is a very, very mental world now. Everything on the internet, it's a mental world, and it's spreading us up and out, and not many of us are taking any notice of this thing that we're pulling about with us all the time, this body that we're pulling about, and we're not taking any notice of how this mental world is affecting this physical world. And I did a little bit of a video recently about how, our brains don't understand the difference between a movie like peril on screen and real peril. So when we're getting triggered into peril or fear through horror films or through drama films or adventure films even, I mean, I can even feel triggered through bloody kids films, we're not realising that there is a biochemical reaction in our bodies that is telling our body system there's peril, there's threat. If you're not a traumatized person, then that can just be like an adrenaline buzz. People are getting a buzz from watching these films. If you're traumatized and really carrying the trauma, then it can just be a trigger for trauma feelings, which is probably why a lot of us who've had a very traumatic experience choose not to watch stimulation like that. But the first thing I was thinking about, why I asked Riki to just quickly do a video, is because the modern world that we're in, we often can't do anything to resolve our frustrations, at an animal level, and right through our history as the human animal we were able to do something about what happened. An animal encroaches on our territory, we go out, we growl at it, we bare our teeth, we paw the floor, we fly at it, we bite it, we kill it if need be. We do something in that moment with the energy that it's generated in our system to deal with the problem. It's there, the problem comes, the problem's sorted, it's gone. In our modern world, we are dealing with extreme frustration and pressure all the time. Like for example, if you ring up customer services for something, you're given music, you're given a choice, like dial this, press this number for this number for that, this number for the other. Then you've often got recorded messages, like, sorry, all our operatives are busy at the moment, they'll be with you as soon as possible. Then more music, then another message comes in and you think that it's going to be the phone picked up, but it's not, it's another message. And we're dealing with these kind of pressures that we can't actually do anything about. We are being given an experience of powerlessness all the time. You know, yes, we have the power to put the phone down, but we're not resolving our issue like that, are we? We just know, yeah, we can strop out and put the phone down, say, fuck that, you know. You can do that, you can react, but then you've not got your problem solved, you know. So you know that you're going to have to go through it, and you're going to have to be a good tame little animal and jump through all the nice little hoops to try and get your problem resolved, if the person on the end of the phone can actually resolve that problem. And a lot of the time they'll then send you off and say, oh no, you need to dial this number instead, who deals with this particular query.
It's become a very complicated world.
Yeah, and it's a world that we don't know at the true level of us, you know. And people can believe these things don't frustrate them, but it is frustrating us at an animal level. It's just a lot of us aren't actually connected in to what we are actually feeling. You know, our emotional body, our feeling body, our physical bodies are getting left behind in this world, because the mental world is so fast, it's so immediate, you know, stuff's coming in. We're not getting the chance to process of this through the layers and through the body systems, and it's storing up a lot of crap for us. And it is causing a lot of difficulty for people with weight gain, with addictions, with unhealthy behaviours.
Getting totally wasted at a weekend because
we're needing to offload some of that pressure and stress. So people are getting to like Friday and like all they can think about is going out and getting pissed, because they want to offload all the stress and all the bullshit. You know, they've probably been having to bow down to some stupid boss all week, smile in the right places to customers all week. You know, and like that isn't our truth as a human animal. As a human animal, if a customer came in sort of shouting the odds, you know, you're going to tell them to fuck off. You're not going to say, oh yeah, I'm very sorry, madam. Oh yes, you're quite right. I'll do everything I can do to resolve this issue. You know, like at an animal level, if somebody's coming in attacking, you don't do that. You know, it's not a natural response for us. A natural response is either to run away if they're a bigger animal than you, or to slap them across the chops if they're a smaller animal. You know, it's like we have our natural ways of defending our energy and defending our space.
And even sometimes just being authentic does that, and saying, look, that you're out of order with that.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to literally start slapping your customers across the face. But yeah, that, you know, like even just saying, you know, I appreciate you're very unhappy with this, but that isn't the way to speak to me. I'll get this resolved. You know, we need to be able to defend our truth, and it isn't right for an employer to ask you to keep systematically disempowering yourself because it's storing up a lot of difficulty within the system. There was something I was just going to say before. Oh yeah, that was it. When we were travelling recently, we had to go through London again and on the tube network. And, you know, I don't think I did a video about that, but I should have done. Just about how wrong, again, at an animal, at a true animal level, and we are animals, you know, that is a big part of who we are. We've got a spiritual understanding and everything as well, but we are spirit meets animal. That is what we are. And when you're trapped in a busy bloody tube at rush hour, everyone is just holding on and trying to deal with that situation as well as they can. You know, we're all very nice, we're all very apologetic. You know, somebody stands on your toe, they apologise, you don't rip their head off as part of you possibly needs to, you know, but you apologise, oh, it's all right, you know, it's very nice and it's good, and I think it is good that we're all trying to do this, but we are still building up pressure inside our systems that has to have a release in some way, and most of us aren't managing to release that pressure. Most of us are just trying to maintain it and numb it so that we don't feel how much pressure is there.
Coffee and cakes and
cheese and all of these things. but it's creating chronic illness within the body. That's what I need to say as well. You know, it's not all right, you know, like numbing things out. Yeah, it makes it feel okay for a bit, but it's not dealing with the issue. It's not dealing with the energy that is stored in the body system that isn't getting the chance to move, that can go stagnant, that can create tumours, that can create digestive difficulties, that can create the weight gain, that can create heart problems. You know, we need to address these things. We need to be able to acknowledge our true human needs, our needs for space, our need for respect. And the way the modern world is, especially through all the media now, we are getting our fundamental needs jumped about all over, which won't be sitting well with that animal aspect of us. Whether you're in touch with that aspect or not, it's there. And if you're not in touch with it, in a way, it's more dangerous a situation than if you are. And it builds and it builds and it builds. And this is why so many people will have breakdowns and, you know, have to cut off huge chunks of themselves, because the amount of pressure that is built up in those parts can't be held properly anymore. So people are going through trauma in this way as well, through having to cut off a massive chunk of what they feel to carry on smiling in the right places so they can get their wage packet in, keep their boss happy, pay for their children's meals.
So yeah, with what the shamans call soul loss, and you know, they believe in soul loss through many different things, but one of them is, say, giving your power away to someone else, like making someone's happy too much.
Your boss. We've got institutionalized soul loss all
the
time.
Because we're having to act in ways we don't always want to. Some people do enjoy their job to a degree, and they can manage it, but many people have lost themselves even through school and just childhood, you know.
Peer pressure, all of those things. These things can just be in subtle levels as well. It doesn't have to be cancer coming and slapping you across the face. You know, like me coughing then is because I've been revisiting a lot of pressure that I was in when I worked in London. And often even things like, you know, just a persistent cough or allergies. You know, an allergy is often your body system saying to you, I want to get this off me. I want to get this out of me. You know, and it won't just be about bloody grass pollen. It's about the people that are encroaching on your space, people that are encroaching on your time. You know, the expectations from your job, the workloads, you know, will set off allergic reactions as well, because it is basically your energy system saying that I don't want this outside energy coming in, and I want to get rid of it in any way I can, whether that's sneezing, whether that's itchy eyes, whether that's mucus, whether that's coughs, whether that's diarrhea. You know, all of these things. You know, constipation is a sign that you're holding and you're blocked up with all of this energy that has been taken into the system. I just feel that we all really need to take responsibility for ourselves, for our own health, for our own bodies, for our well-being, for what we are taking into us mentally, through the media, through the energy of other people, through traffic noise even. All of these things are very difficult and grating to the animal aspect of ourselves. And we need to decide truly what kind of world we all want to live in. Do we want to live in a world where we can't immediately deal with our problems, where we're having to jump through so many hoops? And a lot of these are virtual hoops, you know, like on the internet, how many times you have to verify this, put your password in again, get your password sent out to you again. You know, like, we are in a situation where our normal life has now become like a full-time job, dealing with all the admin of it, dealing with the emails, dealing with the expectations, dealing with having to ring up companies and go through all their hoops. And do we really want to live in this way? That's the question I want to ask with this video. Is this really the way that you want to live, the way that you want it to be for your children and your grandchildren? Do you want them growing up attached to one of these machines, or do you want them out there playing, you know, smelling the air, being around the trees, playing with animals, you know, actually being out in the world? Do we want a virtual world, or do we want a real world?
Very good, thanks, Kay.